Depression seems to be the latest pandemic. This is Cass Naidu, Life Transformation Coach, and in this video I want to tell you about my experience of depression and how I've coped with it. So at various points in my life, I felt myself going into this deep, dark place, feeling completely alone, isolated, no support. It was almost like I was invisible. And no matter how much I tried to think positively or to drag myself out of bed and just get done all the things that needed to be done, that feeling of complete darkness and isolation was a constant companion, even though I was still out in the world doing what I needed to do. All right. So if you know me at all, if I have an issue like that, I will do a very, very deep dive. I will do a ton of research and a ton of practice to see what is the root cause of this and how can I resolve this. Now, I want to say that I'm not a medical profession and I'm not giving you any kind of medical advice. So please don't go against anything your doctor has prescribed for you. But this is just for you to have another take on the probable cause of your depression. So what I realized is that, especially when you're a single person, right? And not only, I'm sure there's lots of people that have partners that are still very depressed. But what happens is in the world today, we are working sometimes a bit too much. Because overworking, action, doing, showing up, taking care of others, being supportive of everybody else, achieving, striving, competing in this world, it seems to be valued in our society. All right. And that, all of that is your masculine energy. And then on the other side, this is for me what I feel was the cause of my depression, is that I completely suppressed my divine feminine energy. So I believed, I've got bills to pay, I've got to take care of my home, my child, and, I've got all of this stuff to do. So I can't afford to sit around. I can't afford to be weak. Can you see that was my misconception of what the divine feminine energy actually is? When I started learning just how powerful the divine feminine is, I started making shifts. So the divine feminine is about being. It's about being in flow state. It's about tapping into your inner wisdom, your intuition. It's all of that that's inside of you, right? It is about receiving. So in the world, we are very good at giving, but how good are we at receiving? So I give love, but am I open to receiving love? I give support, am I open to receiving support? I take care of other people, but am I open to someone taking care of me when I need it? So can you see there's a balance between the masculine and feminine? And I'm not talking about male and female, right? This applies to every person because we all have both masculine and feminine energy within ourselves. It's just that we may be giving too much time and energy and attention to our masculine energy because that is what we've been programmed to do. And we suppress the feminine energy because the feminine is light, it's playful. When was the last time you ran bare feet on the grass, or you just lay on the grass looking up at the stars or looking at the clouds and trying to figure out, the different shapes there? When was the last time you allowed someone to take care of you? To just listen to you when you have something to talk about? When was the last time you let someone see you being vulnerable? That yes, I'm a strong, powerful person, but I also have those moments when I am really sad, or I feel alone, or I feel overwhelmed, or I'm scared. When was the last time you allowed yourself to go there, to be vulnerable? So the masculine is the thinking mind, the feminine is feeling, right? Giving, receiving. So when we can bring these two into, I'm not going to say balance, but I'm going to say when we harmonize these two energies in our lives. So When we're in the work world, sometimes, yes, when we're in a meeting, when we're starting a new project, we may need to be more in our masculine energy there, right? When it comes to our relationships, we might need to have more of our feminine energy there. So in different areas of your life, you'll call on the masculine and feminine. So one may be slightly dominant than the other in different areas of your life, right? Or at different times. So when we can do that, we come into a state of wholeness. It's when we're whole, the feeling is, I don't need anything. I have all that I need, because it's not an external thing. It's not about the house and the car and the bank balance and all of that. It's a feeling inside of us that I'm okay. Where I am right now, yes, I may not have everything I want, but I'm on the right path. I'm on this journey. I'm going to enjoy the journey as I achieve bigger things in my life, right? As I heal certain things in my life, as I release some things and bring in new things. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to come into the state of being where I go within me and I tap into my own divine intuition to lead me, to guide me. When I have big decisions to make, instead of writing pros and cons list and going completely in your mind, which is like us using 5% of our consciousness, can we use more of our consciousness by going within ourselves and tapping into that intuition? Right? Because that intuition will always guide you in the right direction. So when we can sit there with a big decision and think about it, but also feel into it. Also just let our minds wander and drift. If I did this, what would the future look like? If I did that, what would the future look like? How would this unfold? How would I feel? Is this where I want to be? Is it aligned with my soul purpose? So when we do that, we use both our masculine and feminine energies. So we're using the feminine to help us make those decisions, then we're using the masculine to go out and take action. So when you come into the state of wholeness, you don't need anything. You feel, I'm whole, I'm complete. I will want other people in my life to share my experience with me, but I don't need someone to complete me. So when you feel that nothing is missing, there's no need to be depressed anymore. Can you see that? So when I did this and I started tapping into my feminine, I started going quiet, doing some meditation. I started just pottering around in the garden a little bit, put on music and just dance sometimes, and really listen within myself when I want to make decisions. So using both masculine and feminine, I started to come to a point where it's like I woke up one morning and I said, I'm happy. And that was like a strange thought for me, a strange, I'm happy. You know, I'm on a path, a journey. I'm always learning, growing, evolving, doing better at what I do. My business is improving. I'm doing all of these things, but internally, I'm happy. I feel a sense of peace. I feel a sense of unconditional love for myself and for other people, for the world, for our planet. And when we start feeling this from within ourselves, we're generating this out into the world. So now when you go into the world, you'll find that it's a little bit easier because you tend to attract people, circumstances at a higher vibration because that's where you're at. Right? So I hope this helps a little bit, and maybe you take some time if you have been feeling really depressed and say it's not just about the achievements on the outside and what I can do for everybody else. Sometimes I just need to take care of me. So what does that look like for you? Does music make you happy? Does walking barefoot on the grass make you happy? Does dancing, singing, what makes you happy? Does preparing a wonderful meal, what makes you happy? What gives you joy? Is it lighting a fire and sitting around with friends and just having a chat? Whatever it is for you, go and experiment. Try something, and if it doesn't make you happy, that's fine. Try something else. And as you start giving to yourself, the masculine is giving, and then the feminine part of you is receiving. Can you see? It doesn't have to be somebody else. You can give and receive, masculine, feminine, within yourself. And then when you come to that quiet place and you find yourself just looking at a sunrise and feeling, the peace of that moment, or you're looking at a flower and you're feeling the awe of that moment, or you're looking at the night sky and you're saying, you know, I'm just tiny little person in this massive, massive universe, but I count because I am a part of this massive, massive universe. You know, so we're shifting the mind, we're allowing ourselves to feel, we're not stuffing things down, and we're starting to listen to our intuition, which is going to guide you and in a direction of where you need to be, who you need to talk to, what you need to do, right? So we're still going to take action. We're not going to just sit and daydream. We're still going to take action, but we're tapping into the divine feminine energy first, and then we're stepping into the masculine. All right, I hope this helps, you know, and if you are in a place where you're really feeling that you're in this dark place, my heart really goes out to you because I've experienced it and I know what that is like. Look at, you know, who are your closest friends? Who are the people you can trust? And reach out to at least one of them and say, you know, I just need to talk for a bit. You don't need to give me advice. You don't need to fix me. None of that. But I just need to talk. Or can we just go for a walk on the beach and just sit on the sand or put our feet in the water? And we don't need to do anything. We don't even need to talk. But I just need to know that somebody's there with me. You know, reach out to one person at least. And start giving yourself the love, the care, the attention, the time. Slow down a little bit because the feminine is about flowing with life. All right? And I'm not saying don't do anything from the masculine side because we need both of these energies for us to feel complete. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.